Coming up on this edition of ATV News.
You got to do what you got to do to win the game.
And what they had to do involved the fourth string.
It was just something I was totally unaware of, so that's news to me, and it is concerning.
We'll show you how some residents are responding after learning about burglaries in their neighborhood. We'll show you why the Shoshone Nation wants this invasive tree gone.
In weather, I'll show you how much longer you have to soak up the sun until BAM! 5 goals to nothing. I'll tell you who got embarrassed and who did it to them in sports.
All that and more, this is ATV News.
Our young quarterback stepped in and stayed calm and found a way to help us get to the finish line.
USU coach Blake Anderson praised quarterback Bishop Davenport after the USU versus Colorado State game on Saturday. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Annika Johns.
And I'm JC Caldwell. Fourth string freshman Bishop Davenport stepped in as quarterback after both Cooper Legault and Levi Williams were out on injury. These injuries left fans wondering who will play starting quarterback in the game against Wyoming this Saturday.
And if they're cleared, we'll be ready for them to play. If not, we'll be ready to play without them, and that's going to be a day-to-day process.
Anderson says after the game he played on Saturday, Davenport will get plenty of reps in the upcoming week on the chance he plays again. Claire Scott will have more on Saturday's game in sports.
Some residents in the Logan Island neighborhood are complaining after several homes were burglarized. Residents reported 3 different burglaries over 4 days last week. They say burglars stole guns and electronics. They say it's causing them to be more careful.
It definitely makes me want to be mindful of making sure I'm locking things up.
Residents say police are investigating the burglaries and encourage people to lock their doors and report any suspicious activity.
A USU student's lawsuit against the university reached a settlement. USU student Katrie Flint spoke with ATV News in February. She said she was raped by a USU football player and the school did nothing.
I remember being in the Title IX office more than I was in class, more than I was hanging out with my friends. I just felt so dehumanized. At that point, even then, I felt like they had taken just as much from me as the rapist did.
Flint filed the lawsuit in December 2021. They settled the case this month for $500,000.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I met with one survivor who's been sharing her story and her path to recovery. Making meals used to bring a lot of pain to Kara Pastrick after being in an abusive relationship. In 2019, Pastrick started dating a man she met through soccer intramurals. The two of them would make meals together. She said he later became her abuser.
I just remember my days being taken up by him. And at the time it all seemed good, like all these gestures of kindness of offering to drive me home and to help me in my classes and to help me meet other people and things like that. So it seemed pretty harmless, but unfortunately that was not the case. About a month into us dating, abuse started happening.
The National Coalition Against Domestic Violence defines domestic violence as the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, or other abusive behavior as part of a systematic pattern of power and control perpetrated by one intimate partner against another. In the United States, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced some form of domestic violence by an intimate partner. In Utah, 33.6% of women and 21.4% of men have experienced physical, sexual, and/or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. Pastrick says that one of the biggest things for her was how people believed her when she came forward.
Believe people that do come forward about these situations and to provide support and to have a zero tolerance for people that choose to act in these things.
And believing these victims, according to the Community Abuse Prevention Service Agency, or CAPSA, is the first step in their healing process.
When an individual comes and discloses that abuse, it's not an easy thing to do. That's part of why it's so important that we start by believing.
For Pastrick, after going through this experience, telling her story and coming forward was part of her healing process. And while she still has hard days, she says she takes it one day at a time, meal by meal. She is healing. We'll provide a link on our Facebook page to CAPSA's website where you can learn more about domestic violence and find help if you or someone you know is dealing with a domestic abuse situation.
Utah State University named Eric Olson as the interim vice president for student affairs last week after James Morales resigned from the position earlier this year. Olson served as the associate vice president for student affairs since 2009 and has been working at USU since 1998. He has spent the past 34 years working in student affairs for 3 different universities. USU says they're hoping to find a permanent replacement by the fall of 2023.
You might have noticed the sunny skies on your way to class today. Katie Varga joins us live from the quad to let us know how common this warm weather is at this time of year. What's it look like out there, Katie?
Thanks, Annika. It looks beautiful outside. We are more than halfway through October and we're still seeing sunny skies and dry grounds. The last time that it was this nice outside during this time was 2017 and it was 72 degrees. Now usually it's around 50, so that's a 20-degree difference. Now the current temperature, this graphic, the temperature has been updated since it has been made. So currently it's 72 degrees and in Preston it's 73. But there are going to be some big changes coming up this weekend, so stick around for our 7-day forecast in weather. Reporting live from the quad, Katie Varga, ATV News. Back to you, Annika.
Thanks, Katie.
Shoshone Nation members seek to honor the victims of the Bear River Massacre. Kainoa Johnson shows you how the Shoshone and the state are working toward restoring and healing the land.
They would have jumped into the Bear River and then floated down here to safety.
State officials and the Shoshone people come together at the site of the 1863 Bear River Massacre. Here in Preston, Idaho, they're working together to restore the land to its former glory.
This is sacred ground, and we're very excited about the ability to not only retell the story, but to kind of bring people together and unite around what this site means for the people moving forward.
The Northwestern Band of Shoshone Nation purchased the area of land back in 2018 and are beginning work on restoring the land to how it was in 1863.
Once we get rid of these first few Russian olives, we will start planting this fall and next spring as well.
Before reviving the land, Shoshone spiritual leaders must offer prayers and blessings so Corps members may work hard and safely. Shoshone Nation members say the bodies of those who died in the massacre still remain.
Just behind me here is the Utah Conservation Corps getting ready to take their saws and clear out some of the invasive Russian olive trees in the valley. Their part in this is to hopefully clear out these trees and make room for more native species to take over the land.
The Russian olive is the Conservation Corps' main focus. One tree can soak up 75 gallons of water a day, choking out species native to Utah. Once all the Russian trees have been removed, Shoshone Nation members hope the land can return to its natural state.
The feeling on the land is beginning to change to one of peace and happiness, whereas before it was a lot of sorrow.
Kainoa Johnson, ATV News.
The Shoshone hope to one day build a visitor center and hiking trails so the community can better remember the tragedy and pay their respects.
You may have noticed that there's one less sculpture on campus. The sculpture, A Restless Spell, is no longer in front of the Merrill Kazir Library. The abstract stick house built by Patrick Doherty has been on campus since 2018. Originally, the work was only planned to be around for 2 years before its demolition. Over 6 tons of hand-woven willow branches were hauled out last Thursday. And coming up,
it's basic things that we don't really think about.
We'll show you how these USU engineers are planning to bring clean water around the world.
We'll show you how one USU program teaches you how to be a ninja warrior, even if you don't have the experience.
And high school football is moving into the playoffs this month. Claire Scott shows you her favorite highlights of the season.
Coming to college with high male expectations? Don't be fooled.
No.
Oh, Are your male expectations not meeting your reality? Let your male expectations become a reality at USU Dining Services.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Utah State College of Engineering Club says they want to bring change across the world.
Kayla Peterson went to the EWB meeting to find out how they're planning to bring resources across borders.
Laughter fills the room as engineers meet together to plan their upcoming humanitarian trips.
Well, Engineers Without Borders is a humanitarian club here at USU that's dedicated to doing good throughout the world. But we want to help as many people get access to the basic necessities of life as possible. You know, food, water, shelter.
Fresh water. It's not something you really think about of where you get it. But what would you do if it was gone? EWB, or Engineers Without Borders, is trying to find a way to get fresh water to everyone.
It's like a daily chore to go get water that's not even clean, that makes you sick or is dirty. And so, like, the idea of being able to help make some basic things really easy for people or to help them economically is just everything.
EWB plans to take flight and land in Arizona to help the Boy Scouts of America before heading to Peru to aid in alpaca shelters and to Uganda to bring fresh water. For some students, the chance to give to those who have less goes beyond borders.
I just know that I've been very blessed living here, and I want to be able to give back a little bit more.
Kayla Peterson, ATV News.
For more information, check the link on our Facebook page.
And speaking of water, Katie, I heard there's a chance of rain and possible snow this weekend.
I mean, there's sure a possibility. You'll have to check it out in weather. Welcome to ATV Weather. I'm Katie Varga. Let's check out this national radar. As you can see up here, we have a little bit of showers, some precipitation up in the east. As you come down to the south, although you can't see it, this area right here is actually under a freeze warning. Now, as we come to the west, a whole lot of nothing, really not much is going on. Let's go into that state radar. Once again, whole lot of nothing. And as you saw me outside just barely, it looks beautiful outside. But it's not going to stay that way. Let's look at that 7-day forecast. All right, for these next couple days, we're seeing 75, 72, 70. It's beautiful, sunny, but these are your last days to soak up the sunshine because Saturday comes in and we're dropping all the way down to 59. There is an 80% chance of rain as well, not going to be very sunny. Then Sunday comes and it's going to drop more down to 44, and the National Weather Service says there's a chance of rain and snow. We're not sure what percent that is, but there's a chance. That same weather is going to continue the rest of the week. I want to go back to that state forecast. So up here in the northwest, that is where our cold front's going to come in. It's going to come down through the southeast, and that's where we're going to get that rain and snow. This pattern tells us to get out your sweaters and your coats because winter is coming. You are all caught up on weather. Back to you, JC.
Thanks, Katie. Timpanogos Cave National Monument is 100 years old this year. Rangers challenged hikers to hike up to the cave 100 times to commemorate the occasion. Hikers cheered as they ate pancakes while receiving medals for completing the 100 hike challenge between May and October. Not only did the hikers get a good workout on the trail, but some hikers like Anna Meekum say they also met new people.
I met so many people on this trail that I would have never met any other way, and it's this little fun family that we get to be a part of now.
Almost 100 hikers completed the challenge, with the youngest finisher being 12 years old.
Have you ever heard of American Ninja Warrior? USU is making their own Aggie version. Marcus Lamb went to their dojo to see what it takes to be a blue ninja.
You got it! 9! Woo! With the cheering of the instructors, each student hits the course in a race against the clock. These students are aiming to push past their limits and achieve ninja-level speed.
So if you're weaker in one, you might be stronger in the other, but that's why I kind of think it's cool because it is open to all people.
Taylor says she based this course in the hit reality show American Ninja Warrior. This might not have the budget, but the instructors may do.
We had to figure out how to utilize the equipment that we had available to be able to challenge people's agility and speed, but also challenge their strength.
I want to have something that is still fun, students can be able to do, and it's challenging them.
This course looks easy enough, but looks can be deceiving. Each and every player is testing their athletic ability to move up the clock. And students like Samuel say they're more than up to it.
I just love a challenge. It feels so good to conquer stuff like that.
But being a blue ninja is more than just winning.
Just being able to support everybody around you and being able to push yourself mentally and physically is really an important part about doing that.
Having fun within yourself and making you have specific goals and not necessarily competing against other people.
Even if these athletes didn't hit the top time, a true ninja learns. And tries again next time. Marcus Lamb, ATV News.
Teachers say they're working on planning the next Blue Ninja Challenge for next semester.
Farmers are wrapping up their harvest for the season. The last of that season was put on sale at the Gardeners Market last Saturday.
Good morning.
People to see what vendors had to sell. Everything from fresh produce and honey to handmade finger puppets were made available.
It's just a great environment. Everyone's so friendly. There's things to sample, lots of great homemade wares.
Visitors said the best part of the market was being involved with the community and seeing the variety of items. The Gardeners Market is done for the rest of the year, but you can visit when it starts up again in May.
Now, that was only one event that took place this weekend, but I heard a lot of sports went down.
Saturday was a busy day for sports, and I'll give you the updates coming up. Our true freshman quarterback led the Aggies to victory last week. I'll show you how long it's been since the last time a USU freshman quarterback hit the field.
And people like to just meet folks and laugh and tell dad jokes and cheers.
I'll show you how this new class in Logan can improve your health, but why you might also need a designated driver.
I feel like I just took a time machine and went back in time.
We'll show you one fall Cache Valley event that's making old chores into fun games.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, But I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome to ATV Sports. I'm Claire Scott. Let's jump right in with this Utah State's football game against Colorado State. Colorado State got on the board with a field goal in the first quarter, bumping the Rams up 3-0. But they didn't hold the lead very long as Aggie quarterback Cooper Legault threw a pass to wide receiver Justin McGriff, and he scored a touchdown, moving Aggies ahead 7-3. It was soon after this touchdown that Legault suffered a concussion. Number 16 Levi Williams replaced him. It was just bad luck when Williams injured his ankle early on in the second quarter, playing on this injury until just before the end of the first half of the game. The Rams bounced back in the second quarter with a pass off from quarterback Giles Pooler to running back Avery Morrow, who scores a 30-yard touchdown, taking the lead 10-7. Bishop Davenport, fourth-string freshman, was now up to show the crowd what he was made of in his first career game of the season. We saw Utah State tie things up with a field goal in the third quarter. Soon after that, we got this 4-yard rush by Davenport himself, moving USU up 17 to Colorado State's 10. The Rams did end up scoring another field goal in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough to give them the win. Utah State won their game against Colorado State 17-13. Four Cache Valley High School girls soccer teams faced off in the quarterfinals last Saturday. Mountain Crest hosted Logan, and though the game had a bit of a slow start, Mountain Crest picked up the pace with a header by sophomore Hadley Barrera. Not even 2 minutes later, junior Addie Stefania scored a second goal for Mountain Crest just 4 minutes before the end of the first half. Mountain Crest showed just as much enthusiasm in the second half with another goal by Barrera, and 2 more goals after that. Mountain Crest won the game 5-0. While Mountain Crest was playing, Logan Ridgeline hosted Skyview. This game proved to be a defensive struggle. Both teams had plenty of chances to score, but no one was able to put one in the net. Ridgeline's Ellie Thompson went for the goal, but was blocked by Skyview goalie Danica Hoff. Hoff went on to save another close call by Autumn McBride and another one by Thompson. Ridgeline's goalie Olivia Brenchley blocked a shot by Skyview's Mason McKay. With no other goals for either team, the game went into overtime. Skyview pulled through with a goal in the first overtime, winning the game 1-0. Skyview and Mountain Crest will continue on to semifinals, playing tomorrow at Juan Diego High School. In other Aggie news, both of USU's cross-country team ranked in the top 10 in the NCAA Division I cross-country regional rankings this week. The men ranked number 6 and the women ranked number 10. Utah State's girls soccer won 2-0 over Fresno this week. The final goal was launched 40 yards out by senior Jordan Foraker. Utah State volleyball lost to UNLV last week, and it was a close game with USU bouncing back after 2 lost sets, but UNLV closed out the match with a 5-set win. It's my birthday, so today I decided to show you a few high school football highlights that I find the most satisfying. Starting out with the Bonneville versus Ridgeline game, we see Ridgeline quarterback Jackson Olson pass the ball off, or did he? Before Bonneville players or I could even spot the ball, Olson is off, running all the way down the field, scoring a touchdown that brought Ridgeline the win. On to Morgan High and Green Canyon. We're looking at major dog piles. Someone's helmet is on the ground. I can't tell player from player. And then all of a sudden, out from the depths of the pile, number 7 runs out, holding the ball. Green Canyon has possession. We're looking at the Ridgeline versus Mountain Crest game, and the Mountain Crest quarterback Casey Crofts is looking to throw wide, and what a catch by wide receiver Will DeCorver. And finally, we have my favorite play of the season at the Viewmont versus Box Elder game. We see a kickoff by Viewmont right into the hands of Box Elder player Elias Usul, and immediately he is not holding back. Usul sprints the entire length of the field untouched by defense right into the end zone. What a play, and the confetti at the end ties it all together beautifully. You're all caught up in sports. Back to you at the desk, JC.
Thanks, Claire. It's bottoms up and lights down at one yoga class in Logan. I went to check it out for myself to show you why alcohol is the answer for one group of yogis. With music high, mats down, and lights low, alcohol gets the night started at Prodigy Brewing on Center Street.
They are custody and school is our hearts.
Once a late night idea, Broga, a combination of beer and yoga, started over a month ago.
It was just silly conversation. We were like, oh, we should just do it and get everyone in and drink and cheers and pizza and all of that. It's just fun.
And since it started, Collins says it has aged like fine wine.
The first time we were full and had to turn people away. People like to just meet folks and laugh and tell dad jokes and cheers.
The best part? Even the most unbalanced people can do it.
And if you are a beginner at yoga, I think it would be a great introduction.
There's no pressure on you to do anything crazy or, I don't know, very relaxing and fun.
Collins says by adding alcohol to the mix, it helps loosen people up who are a little more nervous to try yoga for the first time. She says it helps encourage more people to come, as long as they don't drive themselves home. People who don't want to join in on happy hour are also welcome to come. Collins says it's meant to be inclusive.
The oldest we've had is 65, and then we have folks who don't drink, so we have under 20, but it's anywhere in between.
Collins says that yoga alone can help your health. Alcohol just gets people there to do it.
Yoga's really good for everybody. It helps us relax our nervous system and lower our blood pressure, and we generally leave feeling better.
Collins holds Broga every Monday night from 8 to 9 in the basement at Prodigy Brewing.
You didn't have to be a gym rat to go to one Halloween party this weekend, but it sure helped. They were pounding metal and breaking records at the first annual Monster Mash powerlifting competition. Men and women came around the valley to break personal records and national records. Utah State University brought a team they say anyone is welcome.
I love powerlifting just because no matter what gender you are, what size, shape you are, everyone's there to get stronger.
A local gym ran the event and encouraged all ages to compete. USU's captain says their team filled most of the schedule. The powerlifting club meets at the field house Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 9 p.m.
The American West Heritage Center kicked it back to their roots with their annual Fall Harvest Festival. From candle making to apple pressing, Katie Varga went to the festival and tried out the skills for herself.
These kids are jumping right into the fall spirit. Many visitors come here for the interactive and entertainment factor. They are here to enjoy the games, food, views, and animals. But the event has a deeper purpose.
I think going back to the original skills and learning how to do all those different skills so that everybody just has that kind of basic knowledge makes you appreciate things in life more. It makes you appreciate your ancestors more and what they went through.
The festivities take people back in time with old skills disguised as fun events, such as candle dipping, apple pressing, and a look into old trades. Like this blacksmith.
I feel like sometimes we take things for granted with how automated everything is. So it's just cool seeing how they used to do it.
As you walk around the property, you can find things like this that give you a glimpse into the past and tell you a little bit more about our heritage.
Even the concessions, like this old-fashioned soda shop, aim to represent how things used to be.
Kids oftentimes are even more fascinated by the history than the adults. I think that adults have kind of gotten stuck in their ways, and lots of times they just kind of want to look at it and then they're done.
Historical interpreters like Miller create scenarios to help visitors better understand the past, no matter what age.
I feel like I just took a time machine and went back in time.
Katie Varga, ATV News.
The American West Heritage Center has 2 more events this month, the Haunted Hollow Walk and Corn Maze, running until October 29th.
What does goat milk, lye, and pig lard have in common? Those 3 ingredients brought people around Harlan Homestead's kitchen to learn how to make their own soap. Harlan produces meat, cheese, fruits, vegetables, and soaps. They also teach classes on making their own soap and food.
We thought, let's get back to the earth and how can we heal our bodies? That's why we have the garden and the animals and the food, and then as many products as we can make on our own.
Saturday's classes showed how to make soap. Students learned temperatures and measurements and adding color, scents, and garnishes. To see what other classes they have, use the link on our Facebook page.
Okay, so what we're going to do, and I'm going to...
So JC, you have a goat, don't you?
I used to have a goat. Her name was Princess, but I didn't get any soap from her.
I have never been more jealous of you in my life. I want a goat so bad.
Oh, me too, Annika.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
You can find this and previous editions on our Facebook page.
We'll leave you with some more shots of the Fall Festival. Have a great week, Cache Valley.